Good morning, good morning. Welcome to Vic and Vern Sports Chat. I'm Vic and welcome to the Daily Sports Update Show. It is Tuesday, the 30th of December. One more day to go and we'll be celebrating New Year's Eve. Hope you guys are all doing well. I'm doing fantastic. Listen, you guys, got to start off. Let's do the topics and then I got to talk about something. Anthony Joshua, obviously we're going to talk about that. Football, NFL, NHL, NBA, NCAA, darts, rugby, winter sports. It's all in the channel today. There's college sports as well. NCAA, I got that one there. But let's just quickly, got to go all the way down. There you go. Let's take the topics away. Let me take the red hot. We have hit 125,000. We did it. We did it before the end of the year. The goal was a lot less for this year, but we made it to 125,000 subscriptions. Thanks so much, man. Unbelievable. All up to you guys, man. But hey, that doesn't mean you have to stop liking, subscribing, passing on the word, sharing the love, you know. There's a new goal. I don't even want to say it because Werner's going to fall off his chair. Let's get to 300,000 by the end of next year. Come on. That should be possible. Let's go. We're going, go big or go home. Yeah. We'll talk about old Luke Littler in a few moments. Don't worry. I'll get into the chat in a second or two. Don't worry. So, look, let's start off with Anthony Joshua. Look, I'm not going to put out any pictures of the accident. I've seen other channels do that. I don't do that. Also got to respect, Anthony Joshua, he's doing all right. He's in hospital. There's another guy that's in hospital with him. I don't know the names. He's doing okay. But listen here, two people did lose their lives in that horrific crash. Look, there's a lot of news going on, a lot of speculation, stuff like that. Look, I took it from two British tabloids. The Nigerian police say that the car he was traveling in, which he was not driving, but it was his car, 5 guys in there, and they were driving a little bit too fast, and they tried to overtaking maneuver. Didn't work, and they hit a standing truck, and 2 guys are dead. That is the bad news. To those friends and families of those 2 people that are deceased, all our condolences and best wishes to you people. I hope, it must be, what a time of the year to lose somebody. I mean, it's never good to lose somebody, but I mean, it must be horrific, And look, and for Anthony Joshua and the other man that's in the recovery there, speedy recovery, all the best. But it's always a lesson. Be safe, guys, be safe. I always say it every day on the channel, be safe. Eddie's birthday today. I've got to check it out. Eddie, happy birthday, my friend. Hope you're doing well. Congratulations. Have a wonderful day. Let your family and friends spoil you a lot today. There you go. So Eddie's birthday today, guys. Eddie's birthday today. Let's start off with the football. It was the AFCON yesterday. It was the Africa Cup of Nations. And if you watched that, there was this guy on this channel, not me, no, Vern, who was losing his shit yesterday. Look, Angola, Egypt, 0-0. That's all Egypt needed. They won the group. Angola is out. Zimbabwe, Angola's still in, I think. South Africa beating Zimbabwe 3-2 there. It was a back and forth. Like I said, Vern was not a happy camper yesterday until that penalty in the 82nd minute. Opalolis got that one, so South Africa through to the next round. We'll be playing on Saturday or Sunday. Playing on Sunday, live on this channel. Don't worry. We'll see who it is. I think it could be Cameroon. Then the Comoros and Mali drew 0-0, and Zambia got thrashed by Morocco 3-0. But there is more AFCON coming up today. Tanzania take on Tunisia. Uganda take on Nigeria. Benin will take on Senegal. And Botswana will take on the Republic of Congo. So let's see what happens there. There was some football in Italy last night, the Serie A. Roma beat Genoa 3-1. And in Portugal, Porto beat AVS 2-0. So that's just to let you know what's going on in those leagues. Otherwise, there's not a lot of football going on at the moment. What is coming up? Well, the 19th round of the Premier League starts tonight, and there are some cracking games. I mean, of course, on our channel, I'll plug that in a second, what's coming up. But Arsenal, Aston Villa, that is one. Look, the Arsenal, Aston Villa and the Man United Wolves game start at the same time. I'm doing Man United Wolves live, but I will be updating you all the time. I'll have one eye on the Arsenal against Aston Villa game, most definitely. I actually got to see where I can watch that one. There you go. Of course, Nottingham Forest, Everton, another interesting one. Burnley, can they do something against Newcastle? Chelsea need to bounce back against Bournemouth. And then tomorrow it'll still be Crystal Palace, Fulham, Liverpool, Leeds, Brentford, Spurs, and Sunderland, Man City. But if you want to know more about that, let's do it this way. First of all, join us for the Premier League prediction show later on. That's at 5 o'clock this afternoon, where we give out our predictions for the upcoming round. So check that out. And then, of course, not that one. That one is the one I want. Man United do take on Wolves this evening at 9:15. We'll be live from 9 o'clock, or I'll be live from 9 o'clock. Join me for that. What else is on the channel today? Of course, there's basketball, EuroLeague. That's with Vern at his Barcelona against Monaco coming up later. So join us for that as well. But let's go back to the football, and it is Table Tuesday. So let's have a look at the Premier League. That's the top of the Premier League. Like I said, that Aston Villa Arsenal clash is massive. If Villa can pull up the upset there and beat Arsenal, the table could be very interesting, and Man City could go on top if they win their game. Man United have to win against Wolves. Put the pressure on Chelsea there and Liverpool for that top four finish. Look, Sunderland, Brentford, Crystal Palace and Fulham are doing phenomenally well. I think those fans will all be happy with their positioning. Look at the bottom of the table. Spurs fans, not that happy. Everton, I thought would be higher. Brighton, Newcastle, 14th, not looking good there. Nottingham Forest in a relegation battle with West Ham and Burnley. And Wolves, you can plan for the championships, my friend, because the most optimistic man on the planet, moi, doesn't see you getting to 30. You'd actually need to get to 40 points to stay alive. That means you got to score 38 points in 19 games. You do that, that's actually championship. That is how do you say, Premier League winning form. That. So yeah, that's not going to happen. Then of course Serie A, because Roma did play yesterday. Inter still out on top, 1 point ahead of Milan, another point ahead of Napoli, another point ahead of Roma, and another point ahead of Juventus. So yeah, it's tight at the top of the Italian league, but Inter Milan and Napoli have a game less. So let's see what happens there. Then in La Liga, there in España, I'll get to the chat in a second. Barcelona out on front, ahead of Real Madrid, 4 points. Atletico Madrid in third and Villarreal in fifth. Then we move to the Bundesliga. Guten Morgen, mein deutsche Freunde. People have told me I've been too hard on the Germans the last few days because of the darts. We love the Germans. We love the Germans. We just got to keep an eye on them, that's all. And I do from the border here, don't worry. Bayern on top there, no surprise, ahead of Dortmund, Leverkusen and Leipzig. And last but not least, we go to the Baguette League, to the French League. Bonsoir to everybody in France. Lens still on top, ahead of Paris Saint-Germain and Marseille. So interesting there. Now I'll get into the chat quickly. Let's have a look there. Happy birthday. That's not my birthday. It's Eddie's birthday, man. My birthday is 1st in January. Let me know. Let me tell you, I'll let you know it's my birthday. Isa's in the happy birthday, Eddie. It's Thursday, Vic, and not tomorrow. Just a correction. It's Thursday. Today's Tuesday, man. It's yes. The Premier League. I get you, my son. Don't worry. The next day of matches. Don't worry. Yeah, we have a good chance of winning those 5 games. There you go. So let's move into the NFL. There was a big game last night. We did all these results the day before yesterday. I'll put them out there. I'll take a second break, let you guys look at the results because I mentioned them all yesterday on the show. But last night, baby, upset. The Rams lost to the Falcons. The Rams are in the playoffs, not to worry, but they lost to the Falcons, which means that the Seahawks will have a bye in the first week unless they lose big and San Francisco win big. So What does that mean for the playoffs? Well, this is the playoffs as it stands at the moment, with 1 week to go in the in the NFL. So on the one side, you have the Broncos. They've got the number 1 seed. If they lose on the weekend and the Patriots win, the Patriots go to number 1. So the Broncos, they've got to bye, and the Seahawks have got to bye as it stands in the first week. The Patriots will take on the Bills. Whew. The Jaguars, the Chargers, and the Texans will take on the Steelers. The Seahawks, bye, as I said, the Bears and the Packers would face off, the Eagles and the Rams, and the Panthers and the 49ers. That is interesting. But, a big but. There you go. Well, let me leave that out there. If I do that, the Ravens and the Buccaneers could replace the Steelers and the Panthers. How come that? Well, they're both, the Steelers and the Ravens are playing the same division. So 1 game difference between the two. The Steelers is 1 game ahead of the Ravens, but the Ravens and the Steelers play this weekend. And if I do it that way, same with the Buccaneers and the Panthers. We have 2 finals this week. And I'm going to try to do both the games this weekend. These 2 NFL games, because they are going to be cracking, because basically the playoffs have started for those 4 teams a week early. So that should be interesting. Then the NBA, lots of results last night in the NBA, and there's still 1 game ongoing that's not on the list there. I will update you on that. That has just actually finished. Okay, so I'll add that one in. Look, the Bucks beat the Hornets 123-113. The Suns knocked off. First of all, welcome back Giannis Antetokounmpo for the Bucks. He had 24 points. The Suns beat the Wizards 115-101. The Warriors beat the Nets 120-107. Stephen Curry with 27 points. Michael Porter Jr. also had 27 points for the Nets, 9 rebounds. Then my Miami Heat thrashed the Denver Nuggets 147-123. Andrew Wiggins, the main man there, with 19.6 assists and 3 steals. The Magic lose to the Raptors 107-106. The Timberwolves beat the Bulls 136-101. Reed had 33 points for the Timberwolves there. The Pacers lose again to the Rockets 126-119. Kevin Durant with 30 points and 6 rebounds. The Knicks beat the Pelicans 130-125. Jalen Brunson with 28 points and 10 assists. Zion Williamson, 32 points for a losing Pelicans team. The Hawks lost to the Thunder 129-140. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander with 39.6 rebounds and 6 assists. The Cavaliers knock off the Spurs 113-101. Wemby there with 14 rebounds and 26 points. And the Mavericks, that game's not on the list because that was still on when I was doing it. 122-125 lost to the Trailblazers. Yippity doo-dah, yippity day. My oh my, what a wonderful day. So let's have a look at the tables out there in the East. In the East, we have the Detroit Pistons ahead of the Knicks, Celtics, Raptors, Magic, and Miami Heat are now in the top 6, which is good. Philadelphia's still out there. So we'll see. Yes, guys, you can send your soccer tips. Just send them. Don't worry. So the East is looking good there. Milwaukee will start moving up the table, I think, when Giannis is healthy. I think the Bulls and the Hawks, either one of the 2 teams are not making it. Then let's have a look. If we had the beast of the East, let's have how the West was won. Thunder still out on top there, ahead of the Spurs, the Nuggets. The Rockets are coming slowly but surely. Lakers, Minnesota. Look, I wouldn't count out the Clippers and I wouldn't count out the Mavericks quite yet. I think it is going to be between Memphis, Portland, Utah, the Mavericks and the Clippers. I think out of those 5, 2 will make the playoffs. So let's see what happens there. Plenty to go. Plenty of time to go. Then in the NHL, lots of NHL last night. And I can tell you, the Kings lost to the Avalanche 2-5. The Nashville Predators beat them. Utah Mammoth 4-3. The Boston Bruins lost to the Calgary Flames 2-1. The Minnesota Wild, how dare you? How dare you beat my Golden Knights 5-2. The Sharks beat the Ducks 5-4. The Canucks lost to the Kraken 3-2. That was in an overtime shootout. The Canucks won that one. The Capitals lost to the Panthers 5-3. Panthers are starting to do really well. Rangers lost to the Hurricanes 2-3. The Blue Jackets beat the Senators 4-1. The Oilers, they knocked off the Jets 3-1. And the Sabres were too much for the Blues from St. Louis 4-2. Let's have a quick look at what's happening there in the East. Well, in the East, this is your Eastern Conference at the moment. As you know, the top 8 make the playoffs. The Hurricane, yeah, it's like a hurricane going through me. The Hurricane, the Red Wings, and the Lightning on top of the league there with the Montreal Canadiens. But the Florida Panthers are starting to catch up slowly but surely. They are moving in the right direction. Columbus, Toronto, Ottawa, Pittsburgh, and Boston, New Jersey. Yeah, look, it's all tight there. It's all tight. I would say everybody still can make the playoffs. Then we look at the West. Colorado, still the team of the NHL this season. Way ahead of everybody else. Then you got the Stars, the Wild, and the Edmonton Oilers, followed by my Golden Knights. For Vancouver, Chicago, and Winnipeg, I need to start picking up some wins to keep, just to keep on hanging on to the hopes, because it's starting to fade slowly but surely. Then last night, also sent mine. Okay, perfect. Last night. What a night of darts it was. What a night of darts. Some controversy there in the darts. Well, in the afternoon, which was the third round still, Justin Hood beat Ryan Meikle 4-1. Ricky Evans got beaten by Charlie Mamby 2-4. Nathan Aspinall was the better player throughout the game. He was highest scoring everything, but he couldn't hit the doubles. And if you don't hit the doubles, you're in trouble. There. He lost to Kevin Dotz 4-3. Josh Rock, very impressive against Callum Ritz 4-1. Felt for Callum Ritz, you could see he was very emotional. James Hurl, no chance against Ryan Searle. Searle has yet to drop a set. The only player at the World Championships not to lose a set so far. And then Luke Littler against Rob Cross. Rob Cross had the darts to go into a 7th set. Didn't get it. Luke Littler made it 4-2. Well done to Luke Littler. But the crowd were booing Littler. And I know why they're booing. I told you while I was doing the live thing. Be a little bit more humble, my son. He was very much against the crowd and stuff like that. And we know. We've seen it with Gervin Price. We've seen it with Peter Wright. We've seen it with Gary Anderson. We've seen it with Michael van Gerwen. You cannot get on the wrong side of the crowd in the alley pally. They will be relentless and boo the crap out of you. And you can tell me it doesn't affect you. It does. I remember when Gervin Price wore bloody headphones because the crowd was on his arse. So, Luke Littler, you relax, my son, relax. What is coming up today in the darts? Well, Luke Woodhouse will take on Christoph Ratajski. Johnny Clayton against Mr. Harrison. Justin Hood against Josh Rock. Charlie Mamby against Gian van Veen. That should be an interesting one. That is a sleeper. I can tell you guys, if you think somebody's not named Luke's going to win the tournament, Gian van Veen. Michael van Gerwen, Gary Anderson. The multiple world champions play against each other, and Luke Humphries takes on Kevin Dotz. So lots of interesting darts this evening. None of it on our channel, sadly enough, because I'm doing the football and we don't have enough moderators. There you go. Then that's the darts. Let me go. Oof, got the darts out the way. All right. Then don't forget this weekend, URC. Those are the games coming up. Of course, we'll have the Sharks and Lions and the Stormers and the Bulls. I think we've got the Ulster Munster as well on the channel. Please check it out. Yeah, you know what? Everybody says that. He was bothered. You could see he was bothered. Otherwise, he wouldn't have reacted like an arsehole. There you go. Top 14 coming up this week. But we'll get into all of that on the DEFCON Rugby Show on Thursday. Don't worry. Don't forget, big, 48 hours to go. 48 hours to go. Then the college football playoffs resume with the quarterfinals. Alabama Crimson Tide against the Indiana Hoosiers. The Miami Hurricanes against the Ohio State Buckeyes. The Ole Miss Rebels against the Georgia Bulldogs. The Oregon Ducks against the Texas Tech Raiders. All 4 games live on this channel. I'm going to do a marathon on college football. I was probably going to have eyes like that by the time I'm finished, but don't worry about it. It's going to be great. It's going to be great. Then some college hoops last night. Michigan, the Wolverines knocked off McNeese 112-71. Iowa State knocked off Houston Christian 89-61. Purdue had no problems with Kent State 101-60. Houston beat the Middle Tennessee 69-58. to 60. Cornell lost to Michigan State. That's the Spartans, won 14-97. Vanderbilt knocked off New Haven 96-53. The Alabama Crimson Tide beat Yale 102-78. James Madison lost to Arkansas Razorbacks 103-74. Then we have the Georgia Bulldogs knocking off Long Island University 89-74. Florida beating Dartmouth, that's the Gators, 94-72. And the Arizona beat South Dakota State 99-71. The ladies played as well. Maryland beat Wisconsin 97-59. USC Trojans beat Nebraska 74-66. Notre Dame, the Fighting Irish, beat Pittsburgh 94-59. North Carolina, the Tar Heels beat Boston College 90-39. And the Michigan State Wolverines knocked off the Oregon Ducks 92-87. Well, that's that. I got that all in there. Then, of course, there was ski jumping in Oberstdorf. Now, listen here, guys. Not the most popular sport in the world, but I love watching it. It is this famous Four Hills Championship that's always around between the 2 days after Christmas till the 3rd or 4th of January. Very famous, maybe the most famous ski jumping competition. It's held in 2 Austrian towns and in 2 German towns. In Germany, it's in Oberstdorf and in Garmisch-Partenkirchen. In Austria, it's in Bischofshofen and in Innsbruck. If I got that all right, I hope so. Austrians and the Germans will kill me if I got this one wrong. There you go. Listen, I've stood on one of those hills before and looked down. It's frightening. It's terrifying. When you look at it on TV and you think, not a problem. I could do that. And then you guys stand on top of the bloody hill and you look down. You literally shit yourselves. Honestly, you literally shit yourselves. But let's have a look at the results. Look, and it was Domen Prevec, the man from Slovenia. He took it way out in front. There was no competition for the man yesterday. Ahead of the Austrian Daniel Chopfinnik and the German Felix Hoffmann, another Austrian there in fourth, Jan Hurl. Then another German, Philipp Raimund. Roya Kobayashi, the Japanese. And then, geez, there's too many Austrians here this morning. And look, my Swiss not doing so well. I think the best Swiss was on 20th spot. That was Gregor de Schwanden at 20th. So we got to pick up the pace here, Switzer. We got to pick up the pace. So that is the morning show for this morning. Jeez, 23 minutes already gone. Let me quickly just plug what's coming up. Remember, 5 o'clock, DEFCON. Premier League prediction show. Get your predictions in. There's the email at the bottom there, right under me there. Check it out. Send your emails with all your predictions. Then after that, Vern will be doing the basketball. Barcelona against Monaco should be a cracking game. And then at 9 o'clock, join me for Manchester United against Wolves, with a lot of Arsenal against Aston Villa in that game as well. Should be interesting. Let me have a quick look at the chat. What has Marnus got to say? He said he wasn't bothered. I did all that. Guys, have a great morning. And remember, if we've learned anything from the last 24 hours, drive safely, drive carefully. Don't speed. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. And once again, condolences to those 2 families that lost their 2 boys there in the car with AJ. And we'll talk about that more tomorrow when we know more information. I don't know if it's me tomorrow or Vern. We'll still figure that out this evening. Don't worry. But guys, have a great day and enjoy. Huh?